California has so many well-known content creators. I mean, the Paul brothers and all that stuff here. There's just a lot of access. Mm-hmm. Now, the attention I have right now, I want to be able to pull that out and get every bit of money out of what we can, so we can have, you know, I was telling these guys, we can never get anything together because we are all doing our own thing. But if we all got together, we could all hire somebody full time to be our camera crew, our editor, our music, or this or that. We'll need a manager. But we got to do business. And I come from the business side, and I just happen to be lucky enough to have a personality to do this. But I see the value in what you guys are doing. That's why I was like, I need to go meet these people.
A lot of guys don't know, a lot of people don't possess the business sense of what you said, which is the most important thing, because a lot of, like we were talking about earlier, a lot of this money is so new to everybody that they're like, you know, these people who come up like eating food like this. Yeah. So when you give them a little bit, and you're like, let's do something together, they're like, no, because I need all this. It's a survivor.
You ever watch, there's a thing on, watch The Black Godfather, Clarence Avon.
Yeah.
See, and that's what it is. That's who I ultimately want to be. I saw this one young lady on Instagram. I thought she was a catfish because her profile blew up so much. I met her while she was here. And while I'm there, will.i.am reached out to her, Scott Storch, The Game, all those other people. And I'm like, you're growing at 1,000%. I'm like, what do you want to do with this? And I'm like, here's the thing. It's yours. You don't owe nobody nothing. You can do whatever you want. But so much of people like me used to take advantage of folks like you because I know Wall Street and I know this, I know that. And I've always been like the spook that sat beside the door. I sat in the room with the people. I'm like, yeah, Bob, hey, Brad. And in my mind, I'm thinking, bitches ain't shit. I'm like, I mean, everywhere I went, I was the higher up I went. The less likely I saw me. And I'm like, man, I'm still from Oakland, freaking home. My grandparents clean folks' floors, and my grandfather fixed trucks. I never get too big. I listen to you, I know you, but I know you are doing your thing, and that's cool. I'm going to learn everything I can from you, and I'm going to produce like a mug, but I'm going to end up owning this part. That's why I was like, well, when I reached out initially to you guys, I hadn't gone viral. None of that happened, but I was like, these guys got something. Because you're already doing the fundamental pieces, and what's missing is a business class of people who come from advertising, marketing, all that other kind of stuff, that are willing to leave that and come work with this to own our own stuff, because that paycheck, I'm like, well, anybody can get this shit, you have to risk. So
it's like when you come in the system of, I'm used to this. Perfect example, friend of ours, I used to tell him, like, look, man, if we do this, this, and this, we can own our own stuff, we can do this, we can do all of that. And he's like, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I need to punch a clock, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's like, I need to punch a clock. I need somebody to tell me what to do and where to be, because I got this creative bone, but I don't have the work ethic to get it through. And I'm like, that told me everything I needed to know. So many people have that, that when you find the ones that can get up at 9 a.m. and be like, oh, got to create, got to write, got to shoot, those are the people who are always going to rise.
It amazes me how people don't realize when I left corporate America, I had 3 jobs. I left a 6-figure job to go be a fragrance consultant at Sephora, work at Nordstrom Rack in that ugly ass green and gray shirt, and a visual merchandise for Joseph A. Bank. That was all to free me up during the day to become a beginning image consultant in Oklahoma City. Nobody needs image in Oklahoma City.
I didn't want to say it.
but I come from that style. I was like, I've got this amount of money to put into marketing. I could run pay-per-click ads, I could do this, I could do that, or I could do something, I could take a shot. And I put all my money on the TV buy. I went on the morning TV show because I knew that anybody could throw up a website. I put myself in the mind of the consumer. If I'm looking for an image consultant, I'm going to go online and look for them. But then I'm going to say, whose picture's this, whose picture's that, and everybody, I'm going to be out there with everybody else. But if I see this guy, and there's a link, and he's been on the local Fox morning show, it has to be legitimate. First off, he had to pay for that. Number 2, I want to see how he talks. And from that one buy, I launched my website on a Monday. I found my first client on a Wednesday, and they found me online through some concierge service. And it was because of that. I spoke at colleges and universities. I would speak at companies. I would do a lot of stuff pro bono to get the testimonial after I did that. But what they don't see is all the work. That's 70, 80 hours. Yeah. You eating ramen noodles, and that's a luxury meal. And I'd already done that early on in my career, but I'm willing to do that in the end because I wanted something and consolidate. And it's like my homeboy that we had an advertising agency together. He's like a brother to me, and he's like, man, I've seen you from moment one, and people don't realize how hard you work even now because this is just a moment. I'm sitting back at 4 o'clock in the morning responding to somebody, and like, do you ever sleep? I'm like, in between. Because they see us on camera and everything else, and we make it look easy, but it's all the struggle, all the sacrifice that makes you appreciate it when you get it.
Facts.
And make you know that, when I get up there, I'm going to make sure I help other people because it's just my turn.
Nice.
And see, that's what I saw. You guys were all working together because it's your turn. You can be hot, you can be hot, you can be hot. But how many people have been Terrence Trent D'Arby?
Wow.
You're a one-hit wonder.
Wow.
Let me hit you with this. So, and you referenced that, not the Terrence, because you're right about that, but my goal coming in was I saw a need. I saw all of these content creators who were huge, and I would look at their videos and I'm like, man, there's X amount of people in here, but only one person's name is tagged, right? And then at the end, you would see people like, hey, what's such and such? And they would be keeping the spotlight to themselves. My thing was, it doesn't cost me anything to share my light or my platform with anybody. And if anything, we all go up, but everybody comes down. And if I could prolong my coming down for as long as possible, the way that I saw that was, let me get as many people that nobody knows, that I know are incredible, put them in the same place, share my fan base with them. They create their own fan bases. And now if I get a decline, let me go to this person because they're hot right now, came from me. Let's all go back up together. We stay here.
That's what you taught a lot of people how to do comedy in these sketches. People had never acted before.
So you look at like KSI and his brother. You look at what is it? Cash Money, not Cash, what's his name? Guys that play video games. There are a lot of these groups that run together, and they're all here in California. And that's what actually drew me to you guys' content, because I would see somebody's name, I would see it tagged in the title, and I would also see it tagged in the description. I'm like, that's serialized content. And that shows a deeper understanding and knowledge of how the system and the algorithm works. So I started looking and seeing everybody, and I've been trying to tell guys that I work with, guys, we have to serialize our content. We have to make sure everybody's tagged. Don't worry about the content as much. Make sure that everyone's getting credit, everybody's eating, and we will all benefit.
Yeah.
And see, YouTube promotes that, but it's usually for what they want to put on their trending page. We're going to break it onto their trending page whether they want us on there or not.
Well.
Because there are four levels of YouTube ad revenue. And at the top level with the Jake Pauls and the PewDiePies and what they get YouTube premium revenue, which is you get almost 3 times more, and you get a higher
CPM.
A higher CPM than most because you can deliver.
Yep.
Well, because my channel is doing what it's doing, I actually have a YouTube rep now. My channel is performing at a top 20 trending page because.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's weird though, right? Because not even a year ago I had 70,000, now I have 300. But when I drop a video in 24 hours, it's doing 100,000 views.
Yes.
That means that's insane. You're supposed to get 10%, and I'm getting a third. So I'm like, well, share this around. Let's see what can happen. So I'm excited to see what happens when this comes, because then they will see all the tagging and work you did. Everyone that's done everything is going to see an increase, and it will continue the cycle. It will continue the cycle.
Keep building build your group of people that y'all continue to create, and it's like, you like what I'm talking about? There's a sister, there's a whatever your thing that you're trying to build is. So now a year from now, each points of this hand are all doing great, and now you guys can help each other.
See, what you guys have here, they don't have. I call you guys a troop because I didn't know what else to call it. But I'm like, where's the Chicago troop? Where's the New York troop? Where's the Miami troop? Because that's how Saturday Night Live did it. They had a cast. They had a troop. Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy, John Belushi, Jane Kirk. They all grew together. Yeah. Even though I don't come from the comedy side, I'm funny, but I come from this side. But you grow as a troop together, and I learned that in corporate America because in corporate America you move up the chain together. Most people try to be individual contributors. You only got 24 hours. You're gonna burn out.
Facts.
But if I'm working with you and you and you, when I go to find an opportunity, we may all be here, but I go over here and I get a manager job. Guess who I'm hired? And then next thing you know, you do well, and next thing you know, the competition is trying to recruit my number one salesperson way to make them a director over here. You go over there, guess who you're gonna hire?
Facts.
It's like the NFL. You see a head coach, when he goes to a new team, he brings a staff with him. Bill Walsh, Parcells, and all these things. I'm like, we have these systems in place, and what this new media thing doesn't have is that knowledge, because that knowledge is based on the old system.
Yeah.
Album sales, completely different metrics. They don't know the algorithm, everything else, because when we have about a 36 to 60 month window, while Hollywood is still trying to figure this out, this is our time. Because when that $178 billion worth of TV advertising moves over here, the Will Smiths of the world, they're going to obliterate the space. There won't be enough attention for somebody who can come in right now to make a brand. Because it's harder than it was in 2012. In 2012, you could just become a million channel in 2-3 years. You follow MrBeast?
No, I'm not familiar.
There are two things I would suggest watching. Shane Dawson did a documentary called Becoming Jeffree Star. And in it, Shane Dawson, who had twice as many subscribers, documents Jeffree Star and his business. And what he realizes, he's like, wait a minute, I got more subscribers, but where's this guy getting this money from? And through his journey, he finds out that Jeffree Star as a brand is one thing, but what it really is, it's a 5-part series. You gotta watch it. He realized that Jeffree Star's money is coming from a logistics and delivery firm that he owns. Jeffree Star is one of the most major distributors. Let's say this manscaping stuff. All right, well, you has to get on the truck somewhere. Jeffree Star owns logistics. So not only is his stuff being shipped, he's shipping for Amazon and everything else. And here's what it makes important. Jeffree Star, as over the top as he is, in 2015, he had $4,000 to his name. $4,000. And third quarter of 2019, he paid $20 million in taxes.
He made a good salary.
But here's the next part. MrBeast, 14-year-old white kid, living with his mom, pimply faced white kid, video gamer, Minecraft.
Yeah.
Go back and look at some of his videos from 2014, 15. His first video, he crossed 1,000 subscribers in 2017. MrBeast today has the first $1 billion platform in YouTube, and he made $97 million last year. At 22 years old, his platform is far beyond gaming. MrBeast is doing stuff like this. Order pizza from Domino's. Hey Clay, how you doing? Here's your tip. And it's damn deed to a house.
That's dope.
Yeah. He's doing stuff like this. Oh, you're a single mother? Oh, okay. Well, here you go. Here's whatever you can put in this bucket in a minute you can keep. Up to $1 million. Go in that jewelry store. He had a guy's like, okay, well, okay, here's some cars. And at the end is here's a Tesla, and at the end is a Lamborghini. Whatever car you can get to and drive across this mark in X amount of time, you can keep it.
Wow. That's dope.
14-year-old kid went from Minecraft to doing this. And he's built a brand on top of a brand on top of a brand. So I study all this other stuff. I'm like, well, you go from 14 years old to being $100 million. And he just decided to do something different. What you guys have going on is lacking one thing that we really never got on YouTube. We never got a adequate bump because it's a young white male platform. And the right amount, the right attention needs to be placed over. So this, I don't think all this is going to work. I think 2021 is going to be a breakout year for a lot of different reasons because there's a lot of good content, these eyeballs, and see, that's the kind of money. MrBeast ain't buying a Tesla. Tesla's saying we love to work with you.
Yeah.
And he's saying, you know what? I want to give away one. He's not giving away to his buddies. He's giving away to people who need it.
Yeah.
So he's buying.
That's wonderful.
He's like Nino Brown with the turkeys.
That's incredible.